Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思吃都还难
It's just complicated. So much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I am Niu Honglin, as usual, with Tony in the studio. Hello, Tony.
Hey, Niuniu. Pleasure to be here as usual.
Great to have you here, especially for this topic.
Yeah, I think so. This is about the dream job.
Living
the dream, right?
Living the dream, and also because you've had a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
This is actually my first and only job.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been working this job for 5 years, counting. But you've had a lot of different jobs and
Yeah, I
quite
think so.
great life experience.
Well, yeah, I guess you get a lot of opportunity to do different things. I was in the airline industry and then
Cool.
education, and now I'm in media.
Yeah, so what would be your dream job?
You know, I know this sounds a bit corny, but I'm going to say it anyway. I've always wanted to do something that I could use my natural skills and abilities to where, I'm happy when I go to work. And I feel like media is an industry where, it's the closest approximate, because I can use my creativity and also I can use, people skills. You're able to engage people and, connect with people from different parts of the world. And that's something that I've always wanted to do.
We are very different. You want to use your natural skills. I wanted to be able to learn new things every day on my job. Like, seriously, for example, if one day my job requires me to learn coding or engineering, I would be happy to do that.
Wow.
So yeah, I feel like something fresh, something new, something different makes me excited and motivated.
Really?
Yeah, I like new stuff. I like the things that I can be good at, but I'm not quite good at yet.
Well, I think that innate desire or interest has to be there, right? I mean, if
That's
you have
true,
no
yeah.
interest in coding and they tell you they want you to code, wouldn't you be
I would.
a bit miserable,
Yeah,
right?
totally. So anyway, it's going to be a very fun topic. We say 找工作 in Chinese, find a job, 找工作.
找工作.
Yes, so from today on, we are starting a tiny series of episodes talking about work-related stuff, from what are some characters you're looking for when you're looking for a job, what kind of factors you are considering, and if you really have already applied for a job, what are some procedures that you might face in the future, and also in things like interviews or tests, what are at least some Chinese words you might want to know of before going into those interviews, and something like getting into the job and knowing your new colleagues. So yes, a mini series in Takeaway Chinese that we are going to start today.
Nice.
Yes, so for this episode, it is going to be about the very first step. What is your dream job and how do you find it? So for our dear listeners, if you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get to grips with the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, CRI Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. 你理想的工作是什么样的？肯定是钱多事少离家近的啊。你确定世界上有这样的工作吗？
I think this is a really, really difficult question.
And I don't think so. I think, no, there's no such job like this. It's funny.
Well, no, I mean, I think that this is something that a lot of young people who are going to school are asked And sometimes people are given a career when they're really young, and they grow up and they decide, actually, I don't really want to do this.
I don't really want to work. I just want the salary.
Just want the money, right?
Yeah, I think money is the last thing you should think of if it's your first job. It's, of course, I'm not saying you shouldn't work for free. Of course, you shouldn't not be able to support yourself financially, but still interest and being able to be happy when you're working is more important.
Yeah, it's priceless. I think that's really important, and I think it takes time to find that I guess what it is that makes you move or moves you.
I think we're really eager to jump into the discussion part already.
Yeah.
But now let's do the language part first.
Right.
Okay, so for the first sentence, 你理想的工作是什么样的?
So this is, what's your dream job like? And so 你理想的, right? So this is your favorite, right?
Yes.
And then 的 meaning like possession, 工作, so this is job. 是 is, and then 什么样的. So this is kind of like a set expression, kind of meaning what's it like.
Yes,
right?
exactly. So 理想, we know 理想的工作 here we translate it as dream job, but 理想 also carries the meaning of ideal. So 理想, in I think when I was in primary school, I've been asked the question 你的理想是什么? What is 理想是什么?
So
is
what's
what?
your favorite, or what's
your, it's basically
what's your
like
dream?
what's your dream, but it's asked in a way it's more official. So if you're being asked about your 理想, you cannot really say things like my dream is to marry someone rich. It's not a 理想. It's not right.
If you say that at primary school, that's a problem.
It's a problem. I'm saying it's not supposed to be something focusing on your personal life. 理想 is supposed to be something more career-wise, more I want to make something different happening in this world. I want to make some changes. I want to do some good. It's supposed to be from that angle.
I see.
Okay, so 理想 and 理想的工作 dream job or ideal job 是什么样的 is we know 是 is 什么 what 样 carries the meaning of appearance or like. So 是什么样的 is like what.
And this is also a set phrase, right? So what's it like? I mean, in English we have different ways of, so for example, if I wanted to say your country, like 中国是什么样的? Would this work?
Yeah, it's great, because if you're asking, we know that if you want to ask what is your dream job, you can also say things like 你理想的工作是什么? So you 理想的工作 dream job 是什么 is what? But that is like asking you to give a specific answer. But if you're saying 是什么样的, it's a little bit close to can you describe your dream job? So when you're asking 中国是什么样的, you're saying what is China like? What's your impression about the country? What do you want to say about it? If you say 中国是什么, that's just strange. What is China? That's strange. So 是什么样的 is very useful. Can you think of another example?
How about if I wanted to say 你的爸爸是什么样的?
That's perfect. So what's your dad like?
Yeah.
They're asking about.
Like if I wanted to, like if I'm dating someone and we decide to meet the parents, and I'm not so concerned about the mother, it's the father that I'm worried about. So I can ask 你的爸爸是什么样的?
That is perfect, because you're not only asking about the appearance, you're also asking about maybe some interest, or what do I do to impress him?
Yeah. Is he a grouch or is he a saint?
Yeah, so 是什么样的 very useful. 是什么样的 what's it like?
Okay.
肯定是钱多事少离家近的啊.
So this is must be the kind that I can make a lot of money, doing really little work, and close to home.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so this is
This is actually a line from a joke people know that things like this does not really exist. We know every rose has its thorn. If there is an advantage,
It's very poetic.
oh, thank you. There must be a disadvantage as well. There's no such thing as it makes you happy in all aspects. There's no shortcomings. It's not possible. So this is actually a funny line. So we know 肯定 is must be. 钱多 钱 is money. 多 is a lot of money. 是
is or 是少, right?
是少 is 是 because 是 is 事情. Yes, 是 is things. And 少 is less or a few.
Or a little, right?
A little. So here it's saying the things with a lot of money and really not a lot of things to do. 事少离家近
离家近的离家近 this is like something about distance, right?
Yes.
And then 家 is home.
home
And then 近 is close, right?
close. So hopefully I can get a job where I can earn a lot of money doing little things and its location is really near my home. Dude, it does not exist. It does not exist. And that is why the answer here is 你确定世界上有这样的工作吗?
So this is, are you sure there's such a job like this in this world?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a question where you're saying...
Rhetorical question.
A rhetorical question. Like, this is not going to happen.
No.
So, 你确定. So this is, are you sure? And then 世界上. So 界
世界
is like 世界. This is world, right? And then 有, this is have, right?
Have?
这 is this, right?
Yes.
And then 样的, this is like, isn't this like same or this kind of something?
Well, actually, 样 is the kind. So 这样 is this, but 这 is also this. The difference here is that if you say 这, you have to pair it up with another character.
Okay.
So 这个 would be this one. We know 个 is a measure word.
Right.
这里 would be this place.
Right.
这次 would be this time. And 这样 would be this kind.
Okay.
So 这样 is this kind of 工作.
工作 is work.
Work. And 么 is question. So 你确定世界上有这样的工作吗? Are you sure there's such job like this in the world? A question for you. Do you know the difference between 肯定 and 确定? Because I think they're quite alike.
Yeah, they do seem kind of similar. It seems like 确定 is kind of asking for confirmation. Like 你确定吗? This is like, are you sure? Right?
Yes.
And then the other one, this is 肯定.
肯定.
This is like something must be something. Like you make a deduction. Like, so for example, if I say, or if you tell me that you just bought a new car and it's a Mercedes-Benz.
Oh, I wish. Yes.
Then my deduction would be, wow, 肯定是很贵了.
肯定很贵. It must be very expensive.
Yeah, it must be very expensive.
Yes. Okay, I think you got the most important part right. I'll throw in two more ways of using these two words. So for these two words, they can be used as adverbs, like you described, with these two meanings, but they can also be used as verbs.
Okay.
When they're used as verbs, 肯定 means to give approve of. So if I say 我的老板肯定了我的工作,
your boss has confirmed
approved of my work,
of your work,
of this job. So 肯定 here it can mean approve of, satisfied with, give a positive review or something like that.
Okay.
So 肯定. And 确定 can mean you make a choice. So if I say 我们要先确定颜色, we have to make sure of the color. So it's still close to the meanings you've talked about. It's just it's been used as a verb, so you can it can take a noun then.
Okay.
So 确定 and 肯定.
好嘞.
Yes. All right, that's quite good. Any other questions?
I think I'm ready to try to recite this thing.
Yes, let's do it then.
你理想的工作是什么样的?
肯定是钱多事少离家近的啊。
你确定是街上有这样的工作吗?
Great. You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niuniu and Tony. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts by email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's talk about our dream jobs and whether or not there is such a job that satisfies all your needs in every aspect. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niuniu with Tony. In today's conversation, we've had a very funny line that is 钱多事少离家近. So a lot of money, not a lot of things.
A little bit of work.
Yeah, and also close to home. Do you know, it's, like I said, it's from a Chinese joke, and it's only the first verse. There are 4 verses. The second verse is 位高权重责任轻. It means in a managing position with a lot of power, but no responsibility.
What?
Yeah. So, and then the third line is 每天睡到自然醒 means that sleep till I naturally wake up, so you don't have to wake up early at all. And 数钱数到手抽筋, it means I have a lot of money coming in, so I have to count the money with my hand until my hand is having a cramp. So,
wow,
too much money.
Unbelievable.
So that's a funny, really, really funny saying. People, of course, saying it in a jokingly kind of manner. But if you think about it, I'll say it again. 钱多事少离家近，位高权重责任轻。每天睡到自然醒，数钱数到手抽筋。
Wow, so that's the Chinese dream, huh?
No, it's just people being funny and mocking those who believed that there is such thing as perfection. No shortcomings, no disadvantages, just every aspect is good.
Well, I mean, I feel like this could be, well, not the conditions that you stated just now, but I think that you could definitely find something that's, satisfactory.
That's true.
But just, where everything is perfect. I don't think there's anything like that in life, not just work.
No, me neither. But I think the trick to finding the right job, maybe not the perfect job for you, but the right job, the one that you will be able to enjoy and appreciate, would be to make sure you know what you want and you know what are the factors that you cannot compromise about. For example, people always talk about big companies and small companies.
Yeah.
So we say, in Chinese, we would say 大公司还是小公司. 公司 would be company.
Right.
And people say things like 平台不同, so different platforms, meaning that if you're in a big company, probably you won't be given huge responsibility at the beginning, but you'll be able to see how things work for, the big platforms. You would meet different people. You would learn more at the beginning.
Yeah.
But for a startup company, we say 创业公司 or 初创公司, that's startup companies. Maybe you are not able to see huge cases from the very beginning, but you would be given bigger responsibilities.
Yeah.
You would
lots of work.
You would do a lot of work, so you will learn things in different ways.
Yeah. You probably do a lot more than just one role.
That's totally right. You're going to see we say 全流程, the entire process of something get done. So yeah, very different.
Yeah.
And there is always the competition or combat between your interest versus your allowance, your treatment, the money you're making. Which one do you value more?
So between money and what? Responsibility?
Between money and whether or not you like what you do.
Ooh, that's
a tough one.
That is a tough one. I think that the safe answer would be to always do something you enjoy. But obviously, if you can't pay your bills, that's a big problem.
That's true. So, 兴趣 would be interest. 兴趣.
兴趣.
Yes, interest. And also 待遇, that's the Chinese word for the money, the allowance, everything combined. So it's basically saying what the company can offer you.
Yeah.
待遇.
待遇.
Yes. I've heard this very interesting way of taking it is that a job is a job. You do the job, of course, for the purpose of making money. But you're not thinking about your monthly salary now. You should think about how much money you can make doing this job for example, 5 years or 10 years comparing to another job. Because if you don't enjoy it, it's possible that you're not going to make any progress on the post. You are not being able to, you might not get promoted. You might not get as much money as you think if you put it in a bigger picture, a longer period of time. But if you're doing something you have genuine interest in, and you will be able to do it better, you get promoted, you might have a better opportunity jumping ship to another post, into another company. So from a longer term, from a bigger picture, most of the times, for example, salary you get in 5 years, if you think about that, the job you're actually interested in would give you back more.
You'd pay off a lot more.
You pay off more. Yeah, I think it's a funny way to think of it.
But I think that's probably the route that a lot of us are, I don't want to say forced to adopt, but I mean, how many of us are offered that job where we're paid a lot of money?
That's true.
So it's kind of hard to make that call. I mean, because if we were both offered, a CEO position and then another one where we're, from the entry level position, I think a large majority of us would probably choose the bigger one because it would be more exposure, obviously the experience, it's sink or swim. But it would be kind of hard, I think.
But I think after working for several years, I started to realize that there's no such thing as a free meal in this world. The more you earn, the more responsibility and more effort and time you have to to put up with, and it's just there's no easy money in the world.
There's no easy money. That's a beautiful, that should be an expression right there.
Thank you.
There's no easy money. Because I hear this expression a lot, especially back home when there's people are doing some work or something, they get a lot of success in whatever they're doing, they say easy money, easy money.
No, it's not. I don't think no. Unless you're really just doing something you love too much. There is this kind of people who are workaholics.
Yeah.
They just love to work.
Or not necessarily a workaholic, but they just found something that's really that they can connect with on a personal level, and they get a lot of fulfillment out of it.
Yeah, workaholic in Chinese would be 工作狂.
工作, let me write that down. 工作狂.
狂. Do you know what 狂 means?
No.
Crazy.
Really?
Yeah. So in Chinese, instead of saying workaholic, we say crazy about working.
狂.
Yeah, crazy.
I see. 工作狂.
工作狂. You can use it for shopaholic as well. 购物狂. So crazy buying stuff.
购物.
Yeah, 购物狂. 购物 means shopping. Buying stuff.
购物狂.
So 工作狂, crazy. I think it's funny.
Crazy about shopping, crazy about work.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And another very important thing to consider when you're looking for a job is the actual work, the things you do, like your responsibilities, your assignments and jobs versus your colleagues and your boss.
Yeah.
I know it sounds like not on the same competing aspect for some people. If you haven't worked yet, if you're a student, you're just starting to look for a job, you might think, well, of course, the content matters. The things that I actually do every day matters. But yeah, I feel like who you work with and also who are the bosses can also be very, very important.
Yeah, I think so. They can make you or break you. You come into work, and if they're, riding you all day and they're telling you that this isn't right and that's not right and that their presentation isn't, constructive, then you're not gonna last very long.
And also, if you are in a really good team, sometimes you don't even want to take a day off because you feel like I should really cover my part, because if I don't, I will put more pressure on my colleagues, and I like them. I don't want them to suffer because of me.
That sounds like a trap. I think that some people get caught up in that frame of mind. They become a 工作狂
workaholic. So there's this Chinese word 工作环境, work environment. Yes, 环境.
环境, I've heard this before.
Yeah, environment. So it has two meanings, or at least for me, it has two layers of meanings. 工作环境, physically, you're talking about your office. Do I have Wi-Fi? Do I have a water bar? Do I have a cafe? Yeah, air conditioning, something like that. But I think more importantly, when we're talking about 工作环境, we're also talking about people around us, the atmosphere in the company, the work culture. That is another very important factor when it comes to looking for your dream job.
Yeah, that's definitely important. It's nice to be in a decent environment where, you're not working too hard.
But it gives you the momentum, the motivation to work hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 理想的工作. So yeah, we've covered basically all the aspects, the comparison between big companies and small ones, your work environment, your colleagues, your actual assignments, and of course your interest versus whether or not you're making enough money. So yeah, these are all the factors. But the thing is, you can't really find a job that satisfies or that makes you feel ideal from all that factors. You have to make your choices, making sure which ones you value more, and get your head straight and jump into the job hunting huge sea and to find your boat.
Sea of prospects.
Sea of prospects.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so the best of luck to anyone who's looking for a job. I believe sooner or later you are going to land your dream job. 你一定会找到你理想的工作。That brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Tony in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at chinaplus.cri.cn and go to the column 你好. You can also listen to the show and read the script on our Easy FM app.
There's also 3 podcast platforms for you to find us, and that's Apple Podcast, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. In case you'd like to listen to some previous shows and leave your thoughts, comments, and ratings.
感谢收听，下次再见。
再见。